Welcome to day one Go Virtual Challenge. Our whole point over the next 3 days is to give you the exact tools you need to go virtual. And there are 3 of them to be specific. So the first tool is what we're going to cover today, and that is who your specific person is. Okay. Now, as I wanted to get ready for today, I wanted to give you a warning right up front. Because so oftentimes when we work with practitioners, they're like, well, I want to work with autoimmune diseases, or I want to work with weight loss or thyroid issues, or I just want to work with the crazy hot mess, the chronic disease person who just needs a step forward in any direction. Okay, I want to give you guys a caveat to that because our goal today is to get specific on who that person is, not just autoimmune disease, not just thyroid problems, not just weight loss, but what angle, what specific angle can we come at? And not only just the angle, but to talk to that person, not a symptom. So let me give you an example here. All right, I've noted Diane is a nutritionist in our world, and she wanted to approach and treat diabetes. And we worked with her not just to do diabetes, but to do diabetes for the Spanish, because she can speak Spanish. So she's got a killer 6-figure virtual program going where she just helps people who are Spanish and Hispanic with their diabetes. And it's super cool. Ellie's probably in her 60s. And so that said, you can do this at any age you want to. You just have to say yes and jump in. So Ellie is an active health and wellness coach who focuses on energy healing. She wants to continue what she loves. Sorry. What she loves doing in retirement. So as I was working with her last week in our group call, she was like, I want to work with the hot messes with a chronic illness. And she has a new 6-week program that she's designing. We're going to do your program tomorrow. So person today, program tomorrow, sell it on Thursday. Pretty loaded 3 days. The program itself, she's got one person going through it. She's loved doing it with this person. She does a lot of energy healing during the 6-week process. And I said to her, so tell me about this person. What do you like about them? And she's like, well, I really like that she's in that my body's changing time period. So she's like 45. And rather than calling it perimenopause or menopause, we called it her women whose body is changing and they want to help navigate these changes successfully. So we're not treating the perimenopause, we're treating a woman whose body is changing. And that is easy for people to understand. So that said, let's figure out who your specific person is, because the more specific you can get, the better off you're going to be in the virtual space. Now, I will add, a lot of practitioners will say, well, Kylie, I want to help everybody. I know. Here's the good part. You're going to dial in and target the one specific person, but that one person has a host of other things going on. So you still get to treat the everything, where you're just going to make your marketing easier and help you cut through all of the noise that is found online. So you guys good? Give me a thumbs up if you're getting it. Like, the point of day one is to figure out who our person is. And as we sit through this together with this training, I want you to get out a pad of paper or use the note section in your phone, because we're going to work through this together. We're going to workshop this. So it can be a very productive time for you. And then at the end, whatever time is left, I'm here to help you guys, whoever is joining us live. So, okay. Vicky's in the house. Deborah's got our video camera on. Thanks, Deborah. And Wanda, is it Wida? Wida's got hers camera on. Am I close? Oh, I can't hear you. Your audio is not quite working. Jim's got his camera on. We still can't hear you. It's all right. If you guys are in a place to put your camera on, I would love to see your faces. Until then, let's get going with our day 1 Go Virtual Challenge. Our goal today is to identify who it is that we are talking to. This matters because unlike a brick and mortar business where we're having to serve everybody in our local area, going online depends on identifying and connecting with a very specific audience. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I really want you to start focusing on treating the person, not the symptom. That simple shift will make your marketing efforts more successful. So let's take a deep dive into a scenario, and then we're going to workshop through a couple different questions on how we not only led Janelle to this situation, but how we're going to lead you too. So Janelle's a nutritionist here in Utah, and she wanted to create some flexibility within her schedule and run her own business. That's her goal. So during one of our laser coaching sessions, and I'm going to tell you guys, she was like in tears, okay? Because she was so stuck and didn't quite know where to go. A week later, she comes back with like this beaming glow on her face. She was invited to a men's book club where her topic was how to prepare your body for a family and marriage. Now, a men's book club triggered this what if I treated or I targeted men and women preparing their bodies for families. And then when she starts telling us this, like her face is just lighting up, like ding, 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 the bell's going off. So now she's preparing all of her programs to match this person. And because of the uniqueness, it's going to be knocked out of the park as soon as she gets it going. Okay. So one simple event led her to figuring out, I don't want to just treat, infertility. I don't want to just treat the women issues. I want to work with men and women preparing their bodies for families. Again, anybody else think that's so cool? Because as soon as I heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. It's a person, not a symptom. And I love it. All right, so here's your turn. What has led you to doing what you do today? Think about this. How did you end up in practice doing what you do? That's the first question you want to think about. The second question is, what specialized training or knowledge do you have that makes you unique in your field? What topics related to your practice could you enthusiastically talk about for hours? Okay, so think about those 3 things. Now here's a background on me and how I ended up becoming like blood work. That was my jam. So the person that I spoke to was somebody who keeps getting told their labs are normal, yet they feel like crap. I help take those labs and I convert them into answers, healing, and hope. Right? The reason why got me into that was because I'd done all the functional medicine stuff, I'd done the chiropractic route, and I realized that I wanted to help people in a less expensive way because functional medicine lab tests, as we all know, can add up quickly. So how do I get answers from labs? Because I'm a big fan of numbers never lie. And how do I make it so that this is a unique person? So think about what's led you to where you are and think about who it is that you love to serve. Okay, I'll give you like 30 seconds. Tell me in the chat box what you're thinking. And be brave. That's why we're here. So we can support each other and help each other get this specific person dialed in. So it could be somebody that you're working with right now. Maybe it's somebody that you want to pivot to and start working with in the near future. Dr. Kayla, moms with gut issues. I like that. One, you're speaking to a person because the person is moms. And gut issues, could we get more specific on the gut issues? Maybe it's the food sensitivities. Maybe it's irregular bowel movements. And is there a specific age range with that, Dr. Kayla? By the way, thanks for being brave. Getting it out there. Women's heart health, more specifically coronary disease and heart failure. Ooh, that one's deep. There's his name's Dr. Jack Wolfson. Do you follow him? Yeah, the 100-year-old heart. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I would shift something to more of an empowerment message, like who doesn't want a 100-year-old heart, right? Women with heart health. Now, do you want to prevent those concerns, or are you working towards healing them? And Dr. Kayla, I love that. 30 to 45 with food sensitivities. Prevent and reverse. All right. So there you go. Women who are concerned about their heart, let's prevent. And I don't know if we can say reverse, but with our marketing, because of that law stuff. But you got it. Women's heal. There we go. Women's joint health, especially hips, pelvis, and movement. So can we joint pain? I know a physical therapist who focuses on literally knees with, I want, 50 and up to be able to hike still.
And dance.
A lot of dance. Yeah, I know you got the dance with like postpartum stuff. So, all right, you guys are right on track. Nice. Let's look at this next step. Okay, so Sherri's a chiropractor and she wants to bounce back and forth between her home and her parents' home with some flexibility, but she still wants to work and serve people in person. So we're floating the best of both worlds here. We've got the virtual space, we've got the in-person space, and we've helped her dial in her messaging. So on a laser coaching call, we dissected her history, chiropractic and nutrition combo. She did a lot of nutrition care, but she was having a hard time narrowing it down. And when we started diving into people who actually energize you versus drain your energy, she got to the person who's 50 and thriving. Now, one of the pieces why I like this concept of 50 and thriving is because it's this and thriving, the and thriving piece removes the burden of chronic disease. So this is somebody who wants to be actively engaged in keeping their health and body up to as healthy as it can be. Rather than working with somebody who is 50 and suffering with chronic disease, she finds that very draining and doesn't want to focus on that. So it also helps because people like this are just like her. With a happy balance of in-person and virtual work, she now enters pickleball clubs and assists in community rejuvenation efforts while maintaining the flexibility to travel between states. Why? Because one, she lives in Florida, and two, her parents live in the Carolinas. So she bounces back and forth. And part of her marketing plan, if you want to call it that, is to join the pickleball clubs where there are people who are 50 and thriving, and get to know them, get to know the people who run the club. And there can be opportunities to do chiropractic care within the club itself, and also to work with these individuals on the virtual platform, helping them with their thriving state. Okay. So I want you to think about this. Who energizes you? Think about your patients, your clients. Who do you love to work with? And just as importantly, who do you not want to work with? As you think about your new business model, your business expansion model, who would you love to work with now and in 5 years? What lifestyle needs must your virtual practice accommodate? And we're going to get into this one a lot tomorrow because we don't want to create a program that goes against what our desired lifestyle is. So you got to figure that out, and don't be afraid to dream, because in Sherri's eyes, having the best of both worlds, is that even possible? Can I do in person and still travel from state to state and not have a heavy overhead on a brick and mortar? Can I still help people on the Zoom platform? Let's think about that for a second. Who do you love to work with? And who do you not want to work with? What does that new business look like for you? Oh, Jim, I love it. Male, low libido. Yeah, Dr. Kayla, a combination. So maybe you do 2 days in the office with adjustments, and then a day or two on the virtual space. Adjusting kids and mamas. Okay. Are we thinking? We got our wheels spinning. You can think about this now. You can think about this tonight. And then when we come back for day 2, let's dial in who that person is, why, so that we can then create a program designed specifically for them. All right, next up, we have Anna. Anna is a med spa owner. She's a fiery spirit as well. Having seen the good, bad, and ugly of the beauty industry, she wants to teach beauty from the inside out as she transitions towards retirement. Now, I don't know how about you guys, but how many of you have that R word in the back of your mind? It's like, okay, what am I going to do at 60 or beyond, 70 or beyond? We have a lady in our program, she's 80. And it's like awesome because she is like, I don't want to just stop because I'm 80, but she does need to have some flexibility, right? So a lot of times people want to go virtual and add in a virtual component because of that retirement factor. So Anna's this way. She has a med spa. She doesn't want to be in the med spa forever, especially because as she's learned in functional medicine, med spas are full of toxins. So she's trying to help people understand that what she says right here. People come to her for beautification, but what they really need is a rejuvenation. So speaking specifically to a person who would like services at a med spa is her unique angle. So when she goes to the virtual space, she's still going to speak to that same exact person who would typically go to a med spa and receive the Botox, and I don't even know any other treatments besides Botox. So that's her person when she goes to the virtual space. She's just going to help them learn, I'm going to help you age beautifully from the inside out. A part of her marketing is, you know how people have like the Dear Abby comments in their newspapers and blogging. So we've helped her create a Dear Anna social media campaign because she's a tell like it is kind of woman who utilizes her straightforward approach as her superpower to create viral content in the near future. But if you get on there and you're like, you're looking at Botox, you think Botox is going to solve your problems, think again. Here's what you can do from the inside out. That kind of stuff goes viral. This is also her unique angle. And the whole goal of today's training on day 1 of going virtual is to find your unique angle. There's a lot of people who do autoimmune disease. Very few of them do with Spanish and diabetes. There's a lot of people who do thyroid problems. Very few of them say, oh, my thyroid labs are normal, yet I have all the symptoms. There's a lot of people who do weight loss. Very few of them say, why are my labs normal? And how is that preventing me from losing the weight I'm trying to lose? So think about it from not just like an all-encompassing umbrella, but what unique angle can you approach this from? Okay. So Jenya, I think that's how you say it. I like that. Jenya. I work with women who don't want another doctor telling them that nothing is wrong, yet they still don't feel good or have been on one or several medications, but the quote disease is still there. So I think, Jenya, you're thinking something along the lines of what I was doing when you're sick and tired of being told that your labs are normal, yet you feel like something is wrong. Nice. Love it. That's going to be a fun one to create programs for tomorrow. Okay. So, like I said, Anna's the med spa owner, and she wants a way to transition towards retirement using the virtual space. So with her unique angle, finding your unique angle, here's some questions to ask. What aspect of your work makes you feel most alive and purposeful? What transformation do your favorite clients actually need? Beyond what they initially come to you for. That's getting into I'm going to treat a person, not a symptom. And then what unique perspective or approach do you bring that differs from others in your field? Is it your story? Is it your method? Is it your framework? For me, going from chiropractic to the virtual space, it was labs. Why are my labs normal? That was my unique angle. It has become like a trend. All right, tell me one unique angle that defines you inside the chat box. What makes you you? Just give me a short, sweet, cute little angle. Courage and hope, getting to the underlying cause of their symptoms. A listener. Yeah, spending time with people, listening. That's unlike most. Felicia does, I draw out every disease process in the exam room table. Visually educate, not just medicate. Interesting. So that would be your unique angle, is I draw out diseases and I visually educate them rather than just giving them medication. So I have a question for you, Felicia, or Felicia, and tell me how I'm saying it right or wrong. Can we take those drawings that you do and make them your next workshop to sell your virtual program? Uh-huh. Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. Let's crack that. So Cheryl, we've got genuine empathy, underlying issues, genetics, blood work, make things. So you're going to take the complicated and make them simple, right? Yeah. So that would be my messaging. And that person is, if you're overwhelmed by the complexity of what you're hearing about health and all the things and all the puzzle pieces and all the things that you could do and the supplements and blah, 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 the complexity, and let's make it simple. So then when we create your program on day 2, that's our goal, is taking complexity and creating it simple, which get everlasting results. Okay, I love it, guys. We got some light bulb moments coming on. Okay. Here's a few more, well, just one more question, honestly. What lights you up? What allows you to wake up and truly feel energized? When you think about your work, which clients, problems, or outcomes truly energize you? This answer often reveals who you're meant to serve. For me, I would go into Systemic Formulas, which is a supplement company. They were about 5 minutes from my office when I had a brick and mortar. Now they're 3 minutes from my house. Literally, we moved and I'm just down the road from them. And I would go to pick up my supplements or the supplements for my patients. And I would, throw out whoever was in the office right there. Hey, numbers never lie. And they would grin and just move on because they knew that getting a set of labs to me was like Christmas morning. That was what lit me up. Now, what lights me up now is hosting things like this for you guys to help you find your aha moments and who it is that you want to take and help even more on a grander level, which allows us to go virtual. So sometimes the pivot happens and it's totally okay. So what lights you up? Okay. Now, one of our final pieces is to craft this statement. Okay. So based on your reflections and what you've thought about in the last 30 minutes or so, I help identify your specific audience with their specific problem. I'm going to tell you guys this. These are the 3 most important words you're going to ever use in any marketing you ever say. Because so oftentimes, and we'll talk about this on day 3 when it comes to selling, we just focus on the symptoms. That's what we're trained to do. I help you balance your hormones. The most important 3 words are then, so you can, or so they can in this instance. Why do they care about balancing their hormones? Why do they care about healing their coronary artery disease? Why do they care about preventing it in the first place? I help people who keep getting told their blood work is normal, yet feel like crap. The mind switches, so it's not necessarily with, but it's find real answers, healing, and hope, so they can feel rejuvenated and be themselves again, or be the mother that they wanted to be, or the grandma, the energetic grandma, whatever it is. Now, I want you to think about this statement in a way that as you're standing at the grocery store checkout line and you're making small talk with the cashier says to you, "What do you do?" And you've got 15 seconds to tell them. When you tell them, their response should then be, "Oh, that's me. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's my sister." That's the kind of response you want. So I would tell people, I help people who keep getting told their blood work is normal, get real answers, healing, and hope so that they can be the energetic person they once were again. "Oh, that's my sister. Oh, that's me. Wait a second. if I keep getting told that my labs are normal, yet I know something's wrong, like you help that? Uh-huh. That's my jam. The first time you say this, it might not be set in stone. In fact, it probably won't be. This is like a working status. You're going to keep improving every single time you say it until you get that result of, oh, that's me. Oh, that's my mom. Oh, I have coronary heart disease that runs in my family. What can I do about it now to prevent it? I help people who have heart problems in their family prevent them so that they can age well and rest peacefully. Something like that. Okay, so there's 3 to 5 characteristics of your ideal virtual client, the type of person who energizes you rather than drains you. So write those out. Then the number one problem your virtual practice will solve. What is your specific audience? At this point, we've got some things dialed in. Pretty cool. Our next steps. So once you get your I help statement, once you get this done, now to go virtual, we need to let people know what you do on the virtual space. So let's take it to the virtual space. That said, you can go on to your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever it is. Maybe you're not there or yet, and you can change your profile to say, I help, and then fill in the blank. On day 2, our next step was we're going to review your current content and offerings to ensure alignment with your specific person. So as we go virtual over the next 3 days, place your I help statement on all of your marketing pieces. Maybe that's posting a sign in your brick and mortar office. Introducing your target audience and how you can have a Zoom call with them. So if anybody knew of a friend in a different state or, whatever the possibilities are, just let your people know what you do and how you help them with that I help statement. Referrals, I'm happy giving people hope and making them finally feel understood. Okay. I see some statements in the chat box. Love it. Okay, keep working on those statements. Get them simple, simple, simple. I enjoy working with folks that have a healthy distrust for the government. A touch of rebel in a way. They see the deception and want to prepare for a different path or want to take a different path, Cindy. I like that. So your messaging would be, I help people who don't believe everything the government says, take a different route in their health so they can. And what is the result? So they can feel more rejuvenated, so they can feel more energized. As specific as you can be. Okay, here's a few more questions to just think about. Visualize the person clearly. Would they immediately recognize themselves in your messaging? Does thinking about serving them energize you? Can you name some specific problems they face that you can solve? Okay, keep working through this. And when we get back for day 2 tomorrow, we'll create the program that you can then go sell to them on day 3. All right, so the key to going virtual, step number 1, is to think about who that specific person is and get as specific as possible. All right, because when you transition from brick and mortar is just, you know, everybody who comes into your space kind of world. Going virtual, in order to cut through the noise and make your marketing crystal clear, the more specific you can get in the person that you're treating and can help, the better. So that's day 1. Now, if you guys are journalists, take the next few minutes and journal what your thoughts are. If you're action takers, jump over to your Facebook, your social media, maybe your blog, your YouTube, create a sign for your brick and mortar about and state your I help statement. That's day 1.